Hello again, my name is Mark Wells and I'm going to talk about some FES Flower Essences, but in this particular video I'll be talking about the combinations that are available out there, and they're a really useful and effective way of helping people, helping yourself when perhaps it might be more difficult to choose one particular essence, or they do the job in themselves. So the first one I want to look at is post-trauma, and as you might expect, it's one to consider whenever there has been trauma in someone's life, recent, past. It will help. There's a lot of new research now that's out there that's saying, well, look, it's not necessarily just the obvious trauma. Giving an example of someone coming back from war, where you can see obviously who wouldn't be affected. But there's also what they call cumulative trauma, where a whole lot of little emotional traumas or bad treatment that you've had, for example, it's accumulated and you are suffering from post-trauma and it's affecting everything you're doing day to day. So a great remedy to consider. I'll talk about two things in it, arnica and glassy hyacinth. Arnica, you should all have heard of. Arnica's fantastic for any trauma. We know as a homeopathic, it's a wonderful remedy for physical trauma, but as an essence, that too, but also emotional and psychological trauma. Arnica will help you on the road to recovery. It's almost like it gets you back together again, so you can then go on that road to healing. Glassy hyacinth, one that's perhaps not used as much. It's from another group of the FES, but it is in the post-trauma. And I always think of the phoenix emerging from the ashes with glassy hyacinth. So when you've been burnt, when you've been at your worst, at lowest ebb, things have happened to you, traumatic experience that's really knocked the socks off you. Glassy hyacinth can help you make that comeback. Very interesting. It's very similar, the actual flower itself, very similar to Star of Bethlehem in the rescue remedy, which we know is great after you've experienced shock. So glassy hyacinth is a really important element of the post-trauma. Another one I want to talk about, which is pretty obvious from its name, activate. It's just that to get you moving again, or just to get you moving. Couple of the remedies that are in are blackberry and cayenne, and those two have often been given a name, if you use those in combination, as the manifestation formula. When you want things to happen in your life, when you want to get that extra impetus to make something happen that you feel needs to happen. Blackberry is tenacious, like the plant. It just never gives up. It's really hard to stop. And cayenne, where you put that in food and things like that, the actual herb or vegetable, we put that in there to spark things up. And that's exactly what those two remedies do. And there are only a couple of the remedies that are in activate. So you can imagine it is an energizer. It's helping you to be more dynamic, boost your vitality, and get on with the job. Mindful is another one, great remedy. A lot of people give me really good feedback about that one. And that's another one, it's interesting, you wouldn't call it stimulating, it's relaxing, but it is actually helping you to be aware and focus better without any tension or anything like that, just to focus easily on what you need to focus on. A couple of remedies to give you a feel for it that are in it. Lemon and mardia. Lemon is just, when we have lemon in our mouth, it's an astringent, it tones. Well, imagine that on your brain. It tones things. It gets you sharp. That's what lemon's about. And mardia, we've spoken about quite often before, about helping you to concentrate. But the important thing is to concentrate without effort. You know, sometimes it's the reason you would use Mardia or Mindful when, yeah, you're concentrating, but you have to put so much effort in it to do it. It's tiring you when you're getting mentally tired. So Mardia just helps you to do it with more ease, with more flow, if we use that word, which is common today, and concentrate on what you need to, on the details, but not getting trapped in those details. Mindful is a great remedy and good, well named. Finally, in the combinations, there's kindergarten. Now, kindergarten is obviously a child remedy, probably any age from baby to pubescent. It's going to work best, and it's for development, even development. So development on a physical, emotional and mental level. Yes, it can be if someone's, you know, a bit behind at school and things like that, but I think it's more about integrating, you know, the emotional and mental development, so they can develop at the same time. So things are balanced, if you like, even left and right brain balancing for kids. And we know that, you know, a lot of our education, particularly for those young ones, it's getting better, but it has been so biased towards the left brain type qualities, which is necessary, but we want to develop the creative, intuitive right brain as well. And good teachers do and good schools do, but kindergarten is helping that person develop both of those sides, both hemispheres of the brain, but also receiving that emotional nurturance at the same time, so it's not all up in the head. Two of the remedies, and just on that point, one of them is Mariposa Lily, and that's our helping us to receive the nurture, to nurture our emotional side. It's very much linked up with maternal and nurturance from that level, but it's helping the child receive that. And then on top of that, you've got chamomile in there, and we all know that chamomile is just a great kids remedy, and allows them to be more even emotionally, not suppress those emotions, allow those emotions to be expressed, but in a more even, not overwhelming, more, I don't like using the word self-regulated with a child, but helping them to develop a bit of self-regulation without inhibiting, without preventing them expressing their emotions. And as I said before, it does, the whole combination does help with that creative side of the child and the development in that side. So a great one. Just in general, the combinations, those remedies that have been chosen in there are often the FES people have used years of experience, their own experience, but also drawn on people like myself who've been practicing for many, many years. They take all that and integrate all that information, and they know which remedies to put in there, which are the common remedies for those particular issues that they're designed for. So there's really good research and personal experience behind why these remedies have been chosen and put in combinations, and particularly if you're not sure, and particularly if you need something quickly, and particularly if you need to recommend something at a distance for people because you can't prescribe for them, or as I said, there's certainly great remedies, quick remedies, and things you can use. Look, a bit in the, like most people are familiar with rescue remedy, but a bit in that sort of context, that you can use them when you feel them. You can have them in your handbag, and just whenever you feel you need to spark yourself up, deactivate. Whenever you need to concentrate better and be a bit more mindful and aware of what's going on, you have your mindful. And kindergarten can be something that you can have on the shelf for your kids, and just recommend when they're a bit overwhelmed, when they need that, when things are not working for them, just to bring a bit of balance there. So thank you very much, and happy prescribing. Thank you.